Hello and welcome back to another video. Today here again on Forza Horizon 5 to take a look at another brand new addition to the Forza series, which is this HYUNDAI I30N. As ever, to get this, all you have to do is complete 20 points in this week's festival playlist, which is the winter season, which you can see I've done by doing the trial, the 3 event labs, the playground games, the photo challenge, the collectibles, and the rivals at the beginning of the series. So when I looked at the HYUNDAI Kona N the other week, my only real problem with that car was that the i30 also existed, and they are pretty similar, in which case I couldn't really see why anyone would go for the Kona over this. Time then to see if I'm right, and if this is indeed better than that Kona. The i30N also has a 2-litre engine, which I assume is the same block that is found in that Kona. The difference in horsepowers between the two is negligible, with the i30 only down by 5 at 271. It's also slightly down on torques at only 378. The i30 is though lighter at 1,429 kilos to the Kona's over 1,500 kilo weight. They are of course both front-wheel drive, but the i30N is 14 pI lower, starting at only B670, so potentially it could also be pretty good in B-Class, just like the Kona was. And just like the Kona, the i30N makes nice burbly sounds when you rev the engine, and from the interior view, it has some really cool shift lights, which I don't think the Kona did. I also personally prefer how the i30 looks, but that is just down to individual taste, and, well, whether you have any or not. Anyway, the i30N is available in some very similar manufacturer colours to what the Kona was. There's this really nice Hyundai sort of, I don't know what it's called, but it's the blue they put on all their performance cars, which seems to be slightly bluer on this than it was on the Kona, which I don't know if is accurate or not, but I think that's really the only option for this car. There is a red which looks rather good, but it kind of hides the fact that there are red accents. I do quite like the grey as well. I'm not sure about white or black and the other sorts of silvery colour, but what I'm going to do is go and paint it in my usual purple. And I'm also very pleased to report that in terms of further customization and upgrades, there are some more options. So there is only one engine swap, a turbo rally, and there's your usual rear-wheel drive and all-wheel drive conversions, but if we go to aero and appearance, not only is there a body kit by Maxton Design, but if we go on the Forza Aero, the tow hook is actually different to how it, well, usually is, so hopefully this is a sign that going forwards, maybe we'll get some slightly different style Forza Aero. I am, though, for now, going to put the Maxton Aero bit on. There is also a Maxton Aero rear wing, but more impressively than that, there's a brilliant Hyundai race width rear wing. There is also Forza Aero, which, well, looks like Forza Aero, so for now I'm going to put the Hyundai one on there. Again, there's Maxton Design parts on the rear, which also look pretty incredible. And again, there's some on the side, although I don't know whether I want that or the Hyundai parts. So I think the Hyundai one's carbon fibre, so for the time being, let's put that on there. And also, there is a bonnet, which has, I have realised now that what appear to be fake vents, but they do have carbon fibre on them, and they do look incredible. And there's also a Forza hood with bonnet pins. So again, just like with the front aero, I'm wondering whether they're going to start introducing Forza street bonnets to more vehicles when they get added, with pins like that. For now though, I am going to go with the Hyundai ones. And then, well, we've transformed the car already. Apart from that, everything's kind of as you'd expect. There's your usual tyre compounds, tyre widths, track widths, which I will bring out for now. I will, though, be applying a tune in a minute, so all of this is kind of irrelevant. There's your usual drivetrain options, platform and handling options, and engine options. With that, I went in search of a B-Class tune for some online racing, and ended up with this K1Z Bard Purist tune. To my surprise, though, there appeared to be some decent-looking A-Class tunes as well. My first impressions of the car, I felt like it was more understeery than the Kona, also tuned, but I think it did also feel more towards understeer in stock configuration as well than the Kona did. It didn't appear though to tripod quite as much as that car did, and did still feel pretty good. And on its first race at the Reservorio Sprint, although it was slow on the first straight, being beaten by all but a Forza Aeroed French hatchback, it did eventually give me a first victory, quite convincingly, although again it was only against 4 cars, but this kind of set the tone for the rest of the races. I also won the next race at Tierra Prospera, achieving fastest lap by nearly a second. And that was the end of that adventure, so I went on to another one, starting with Player Azul, which after the chaos of the first corner, and the attempt of a Ford to push me out of a checkpoint, I eventually took the lead and won the race again. At Plaza Circuit and Abarth did challenge me a little bit, but in the end the Hyundai won that as well. And finally at the Gran Pantano Sprint, which is a really high speed route, a Corrado did finally break my winning streak in the Hyundai, but I feel like it probably should have won that as well. And that was also the last race of that adventure. Safe to say the Hyundai is pretty good in B-Class. I am also told that it's actually pretty fast in B-Class Open, even when left completely stock. So yeah, I'm definitely going to be continuing using this for B-Class. Anyway, as I had seen some A-Class tunes earlier, with that I went and applied an A-Class tune, also made by K1Z Bard, and using all of the same visual pieces I put on the car before I started looking for tunes. This had anti-lag though, and also refused to turn at all, so yeah, I decided that wasn't a great idea, and went and applied a tune from K1Z Jumpy. But when it came to selecting a car for the race, Forza decided to increase its PI by 1, so it was into S1 and wasn't allowed in. At this point I decided maybe A-Class wasn't such a great idea, and to be happy with the fact that this Hyundai is excellent in B-Class, and put that tune back on, which, like I say, I will probably continue to use it for. And that is going to do it for today's video, taking a very first look at the HYUNDAI i30N here on Forza Horizon 5. Stock, it's super fun to drive, even if it does understeer a bit more than the Kona did, and in B-Class it's ridiculously fast, with a tune on winning absolutely everything, but apparently also pretty good when left stock. So overall I think it has done better than the Kona, so the car that I slightly prefer has done better. I do think they're both excellent fun little things, and both of them were pretty good in Horizon Open, but this was just that next level. It seemed pretty unbeatable, I would say. So yeah, I am going to continue using this in B-Class unless it transpires that it is a bit too OP. But anyway, that is going to do it for today's video. Do let me know your thoughts on the HYUNDAI i30N. But for now, thank you very much for watching, and I will be back with the next one very soon.